mentor, speaker, former principal, and also the founder and managing director of the Futuristic School. So the name itself suggests they make the future ready for the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Dr. Aruna Wadkar. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to our show.
Evening, viewers. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sparing some time and being with us and coming to our show to inspire many people. So, ma'am, I just want to understand more about education. The word itself, I read somewhere that education has been derived from a Latin word edipare, which means to pull out. And it had a deep impact on my mind. I want to understand more about this word, this word education from you.
Right. But yes, you are absolutely right. It has derived from a Latin word like educare and educere, which is molding people, getting out, extracting the best out of them, what has been given to them, the knowledge to extract, to mold the other one into that. So yes, education is in itself has a vast meaning because there is a lot of difference when we call being literate and being educated, right? Literate is that we have degrees, we have honors, we have prefixes with our names and all that. That is that we are literate, we are owning so many degrees. But then being educated is along with being literate, if you are really educated, which means that you are humble, you are down to earth, you are having the humanity consciousness, and you are kind. So all this, which is together makes education, being literate and being educated, right? Literate is really, yes, we have what you I said to you, but both together, the more you study, the more you gain knowledge, the more humble you become, and the more kind that comes in your nature, and that builds you up and connecting with others. The more you give, the more you receive as well.
Very well said, Dr. Aruna, very well said. Uh, when I started my training journey a few years back, there was a survey done by NASCOM, and that survey was very, I would say, it had a headline that more than 80% of engineers that India produces are a waste. Since the headline for today's talk show says education beyond books. So I just want to relate this because as far as I understand about your work, it is more into practical and experiential learning that you tend to your mission and your vision stands for. And when these statements come for the Indian education system, people like you are there to help our students and our people in the nation to work towards that experiential learning and the education beyond books. So, what's your take on that?
Right. As you rightly mentioned, the survey said that when you said that a pretty long back, or but even now when we see there are
Yes.
many people who are highly educated, but they are not, I mean, highly literate, I should say, but they are not having jobs. Even the engineer students who have done engineering as well. Why? Because we are mainly focusing on the marks percentage. I need to get more percentage, and bookish knowledge is more mostly given to the students rather than the practicality in life, because once they finish engineering or any grades you mean, maybe 10 your turning points like grade 10, grade 12, grade your graduation or your engineering, your further, until unless you have the knowledge of books, yes, but apart from that, we as schools or we as teachers, we should mold them in such a way that along with literacy, we give them education to face life with a lot of life skills. What do we call as life skills? Right now, as NEP also has told that we have to concentrate more on life skills because they study, but once they come out, the organizations where they apply for jobs, it is very much seen that their expectation is very different than what has been what their student has gained. But those expectations, what the organizations are looking for, we as educators, we don't look at it and we don't educate them or train them. It is really the percentage of marks really doesn't matter. They have knowledge, but they have very less communication skills. They have knowledge with the book of engineering, whatever degrees they have taken, but they don't know their how to attend the interviews, how to communicate, the language, the skills that they really need to face or to communicate with each other. It is lacking because we don't know that. So that's how, with the long tenure of mine, what I have been observing, or like over 3 decades into the education sector, what I've been observing, that is what I'm trying to imply right now as my in my organization of heads, what I'm doing, where we have from grade 7, we have students we take up online tests, okay, based on the CBSE, visual auditory and kinesthetic, and from there on, and again it gives them, at the grade 7 level, it gives them the series of jobs, based on their level, okay, the mental ability, and there it gives a comprehensive report as to how the child is, like whether the child is having a stage fear or the self confidence, communication skills, the body language, all these parameters are counted, and we give training to those children from grade 7. Because nowadays, mostly now, if I should say, even in our time and maybe your time as well, it was like after 10th and 12th, okay, abhi kya karna hai, we have to groom our the child in his job, so let us send them to public speaking course, let them send them to interview skill course. It was like that, but now it is very important that we build it in our curriculum itself, in our system, in the education system as well. So when we do that, what happens is every year the child is grooming itself in what is required another 5 years later, right? Because after that, once the child has got the degree or whatever, because the child is already, groomed with all these things. So the child has the decision making capacity, the child has no fear, the child can speak out without hesitating, the child is like pretty bold enough to say, okay, to think what is right and what is wrong for himself or herself, right? So this is how we need to really bring on with the students right now, because it is really, the scenario is very bad with this pandemic situation also. But then there's no a stop to this, because even online technology has taken a very huge plays a very huge role in this. We can even train or give the students online classes in terms of these, because this is the time where along with their studies they can groom themselves, they can take up the care of themselves. But though the children are getting bored with all the studies and all that is happening, only studies, no going out, no recreation, but at least these things, it will really boost them up to, okay, yeah, there is something else that we can. So I would like to say that, even the school owners or the principals, make sure that the children are getting these sort of the life skills or the self grooming skills, which is very much required. So that's what I connect with the people or the students who are not getting job right now. And apart from that, the school doesn't have, some schools don't have good teachers. Okay. But then we definitely take up BE, the people, students, because they're very good in maths. But only thing is they don't take them because they do not have B.Ed, the qualification that is required to enter into the education sector. So, but then, yes, as a principal, I have employed BE teachers for maths. and it had really given out good results. So only the certificate is missing, but they have the skill and they have that interest to do things. So yes, those should
Absolutely.
be open to everybody to learn, to grow, to do things, and they will definitely do well. And we should, as educators, I would suggest every school let the children mold themselves from now, from younger age, and they should be facing up the challenges of the world.
Absolutely. Very well said, Dr. Wadkar. So, how we, the parents and the teachers, both can collaborate to create that effective learning environment for a student, starting from pre-primary, because now it is all about play schools, play schools, and then they start with kindergarten. So there's a lot of pressure on kids. So how parents and teachers can collaborate? Because I have seen parents have different perception about teachers. Teachers have some other perception about parents. And during this lockdown, there is something else going on. So how that can be created, that effective learning environment can be created.
See, the here again, I would say it is a trust factor. Okay, the parents should trust their school, their teachers, that thinking they're telling them that yes, thinking themselves that yes, I have given my child in a very safe environment. I've got the admission, and my child is in a very safe hands where a good teacher, a very well trained teacher, will be grooming my child or will be delivering lessons or teaching my child. Yes, very, very important. A parent needs to understand that have trust in teachers. And because right now in this pandemic situation, teachers are doing their best because many didn't know how to, go online and do classes, how to share screen, how to go ahead and do worksheets, how to correct the assignments, how to give tests. Everything is being taught to the teachers. They are some are exploring by themselves. Many of them don't didn't know, and the teachers are not getting that proper sources to learn, but then they are exploring. So parents and teachers can make effective learning only when there is a trust. A teacher can teach the child to her confess, not that okay, somehow I need to finish the chapter or somehow I need to finish the portion. No, make sure that the child learns to the extent that what the child needs to know, and the parent should be rest assured that yes, I have my child is learning. Let me not interfere. But what happens is when the child is learning, the parents interfere a lot, and there are I have heard many a times with my teachers as well that they comment on teachers, like very which is not actually good in front of the children. So what happens is the child loses its confidence in teachers. The very important factor is child needs to have that confidence. Yes, my teacher is the best. She knows how to teach. She knows the subject. She knows what I ask questions. She knows to answer. So parents should not degrade the teachers in front of the children, which is happening right now, as Akanksha said, that many different scenarios are coming into picture. But then the trust factor is more. So I would request both, in case the teachers, please do your work with your consciousness that you do impart knowledge at this stage with more rigor, more happiness, more active being on the screen rather than, okay, I just need to finish it, forget it. Are you all there? Okay, fine, let me finish it. No, it shouldn't be that. And as parents, make sure that you do not be surrounding yourself with the children when they are online, but teach them what is online body language, how do they need to sit, how do they need to behave towards the teacher, what they should do. That is very important. The schools need to actually take a session with the students as to how is online body language required. Yes, you cannot sit for a long time, but whatever time you sit, it is required that you behave the way that you are as you attend offline classes. So trust factor is more each on each other because teacher wants the child to learn, pass the exam, go to next class, and the parent is like, okay, what my child is learning, and expectations of the parents through the child at this situation should be very low. Okay, whatever is the child learning, let them, give them peace, let them relax mentally, because this is not an adult, they are children. So we need to understand them to their conscious effort that the teachers are putting, and to the conscious effort that the students are attending. So
Right.
this is what I would convey to the parents and the teacher. And we can build a very effective teaching and learning if these are followed actually.
Trust is the key over here. As Ekta Sehgal Malhotra says, Ekta also mentions parents during online classes, I feel, want to show off how much they know and are also overprotecting the kids, which doesn't happen in offline. So, because everything has a challenge to it. We were not accustomed to virtual classes, but now it's happening. Even the kids are adapting to this along with the parents. And of course, the teachers are working really hard on that.
Yes, definitely. And sometimes, trust me, it is like children would also say, "Why my this thing is not working?" And you can click on this button, you will be fine. You can click on. Children are much more well tech savvy than and there's no harm telling the children, "Thank you, children. You gave me the right. Thank you so much. I didn't know about it, but then yeah, I was getting confused. Good, you told me. I from now on I'll follow because." Praise that child when it is telling instead of telling, oh, as though you know more than me. No, because yes, accept it when you don't know. You know that is very much important. Offline is very easy, having face to face connect, eye to eye connect, and then you are having the touching sense of the child. You have that touch sense. But here it is totally virtual. You are just away, miles away from the child. So it's very much required that you connect heart to heart and mind to mind with the children in order to make them understand that yes, you can, and you will be able to do it. Don't put our the teachers pressure on that and the parents pressure on that, because parents are like, will the child be able to finish up the curriculum, the syllabus, and will there be exams? And relax, there's nothing going to go a loss. Even if the child is not able to cover up 1 year, no harm in continuing one more year. The health is important, the mental stability is important, but it's okay, because now there is age relaxation, whatever is coming up with new education, it is good. The child can do it, no harm if your child doesn't cover up in 1 year. It gives it more importance to, for that child, okay, let me learn this now because I have not completed, let me learn it more thoroughly. But then don't pressurize the child. But if you don't want to pressurize and you want your child to excel, make an environment of your behavior, of your thoughts, the study environment in such a way that the child is happy to learn. Because getting pressure from the teacher, pressure from the parent, even virtually, then the child will not be able to take, because they are not adults.
Right, right. So, one more question when I was listening to you, and also the experience as a parent, one more question that arises in my mind is this virtual world that COVID has created for students and teachers. I feel that it's creating a pressure on teachers. uh, we do agree as parents that it is creating a pressure on teachers, but along with the teachers, it's creating a pressure for parents too, because we all are trying to adapt. And also, when there was a experience of a teacher, the teacher going through the aisle and talking to you, holding your hand sometimes, taking the student to the virtual tour, I mean, the tour of the school, and now it's all on the screen. So many a times that concentration, that attention a teacher is supposed to give to the students is not there in virtual world, because there are so many things that a kid get distracted to during the class, the online class, if the parent is not around. So,
Right.
yeah, just want to know more about that pressure that's being created for the students and the teachers both.
See, it all depends on the teacher, Akanksha. As you, as a parent, if I'm telling you, it all depends on the teacher. How firmly she is delivering her lessons. At the same time she is being lenient to the children, and in between have some humor, in between have some fun. Okay, now we all had a 5 minutes fun, because the child needs that a bit break in between. And once
Right.
we tell them, okay, take a break, come back after 5 minutes, it will take 15 minutes for the child to come back. But if you are able to, like, you have a 30 minutes class, because the child mentality is like they can concentrate only 30 minutes max, and then you have a 5 minutes fun time in the virtual, when you are in virtual, instead of telling them, okay, fine, go ahead and you can come back after 10 minutes. So, you have a little fun and say, okay, did you all relax? Are you all back now? Shall we go ahead and take learn now the next, connected to what I was telling? And have that fun based on such activity that it relates to what you're teaching. Okay,
Right. Absolutely.
fun. So what happens is the children are not losing on what the teacher is teaching. At the same time, they are connected. Yes, ma'am. Now I got it. You did this. You do the activity in the class as well,
Right.
right?
Right.
So yes, here you cannot do in group activity. You cannot do individual mode, but it has to be overall some fun activity which is related to studies, and then come back, bring them back, and it was like refreshing them every now and then, so that the child concentrates more. So it
Absolutely.
is the talent, the skill of a teacher, the way she is taking ahead the class. Right? But
Right.
at the same time, we should never forget that there is a pressure for the teacher at the same time from the management, or you can say the head of the institution. Yes,
Mhm.
this is what you need to complete, this is what you need to finish. So everything comes, each one here, as a parent, as a student, as a teacher, everybody are one or the other pressure actually. Okay, but then how well a teacher is able to do it, how well a teacher is able to bring more technology to make that, you can bring in cartoons sort of thing. You can just keep a clip ready to bring that cartoon and show. So the children are like, okay, I'm not going to move out. When teacher's class, this teacher's class, I don't want to miss because she shows cartoons or she shows this. So that is how you need to make the class more creative, so that pressure is lessened down. There's laughter, happiness, and then coming back. So that is how the class has to be created actually, and where we go ahead and we tell the teachers also, the training is required for the teachers in the way that they have to take up the classes too.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So,
Well said, Dr. Wadkar. So one more thing over here is it also that attention span that also depends on the
yes.
interest of the child. Because I have seen in my daughter's class, I have seen the subject that she is interested in. She stick to the seat, and of course she likes the teacher. She sticks to the seat and she never go here and there. But the subjects she doesn't like, and she's a little that interest is there, of course. So I have seen the Indian education system. It's more about grades. It's more about being the topper, and you supposed to get 90% and above. Though grade systems is also creating that only, as far as I understand. So, what exactly the futuristic school is all about? How it's different from the current education system? What different things?
Actually, yeah. So actually, the futuristic school, what you're mentioning is where I was a principal.
Okay,
Okay, I was a
okay,
principal there. It's an ICSE school, but
oh,
I am having my own organization of heads, that is Harvest Educational Transformation Solutions. I am having
okay,
my own organization. Okay,
great.
and in my organization, it's a training organization overall for up to K-12 and college for soft skills and safety
All right,
measures, and
awesome.
for the teacher training. Okay, so when
Huh.
we talk about futuristic school, now what is going on, what you're seeing right now, as per the COVID-19 situation, the virtual classrooms, that is where we it is going towards the futuristic school. Many aspects would be changing right now. Not necessary that everything would be offline or everything would be virtual. Both will go hand in hand even after this situation passes away. So, when we talk about futuristic school, it is very important that we concentrate more on the teacher trainings, even as per NEP says that 50 hours of teacher training is required, and then the foundational years, 5 plus 4 plus 4 3 plus 4. It has become a it's become that the formula has to be integrated, because earlier pre-primary was separate, then primary was separate, but now the foundational year is like 3 plus 2, 5 years. Up to grade 2, it has become like a pre-primary. Right? So in that way, until unless the new education policy, the training, how and what can be done and how it is formulated is given to the teachers, the futuristic school will not be, really be bring into existence. We have to really work out for that, because yes, what till now we were like making the teachers primary level, I mean pre-primary level separate, primary separate, middle school, then high school. There were categories, but now it is not. So it's a different formulation. So futuristic, it is like how are we creating our children into? Are we able to make them a critical thinkers? Are we able to create curiosity in them? Are we able to do experiential learning with themselves? Or I mean, in the class or whatever topic they are or subject they are studying, and are they able to take decision making? Are they able to analyze whether I am right or wrong? All these aspects play an important role when it comes to a futuristic school. Yes, many schools they do say like, okay, we have experiential learning, we have design thinking, we have instructional design, learning, everything is there. But when, if you go as a trainer or as an academic auditing or as an any advisor, you go, many teachers in the school itself which has claimed to be that they don't know, but it is nobody to be blamed, right? But the teachers have to be trained in order to bring that in the system for the children, because the way they deliver the lessons has to be related to all these. We have blended learning in the system. We have flipped classroom, what you call as a futuristic, going on to the next level. So blended learning, futuristic, then STEM education is coming up. So all these to be, how do we integrate all this? Blended is like problem based learning, project based learning, and how we are going to integrate the subjects, like subject how maths is integrated to science. So all these sort of, again including the STEM as well, which is again called as an integrated learning or a blended learning. So all this doesn't come out and make a futuristic school until unless a person is thorough with what has to be taught, how it has to be taught, and why it has to be taught. Very, very important. It's not that only the teachers, but even we as principals, we have to upgrade ourselves in such a manner that yes, we need to put our foot down sometimes to tell that yes, my teachers need this training, my teachers need to be equipped with what is, if we are not creating a disaster to the children, right? We have to mold them, we have to create them. So there are so many aspects in learning itself, which many of us are not aware, which we really want to bring it. Maybe yes, higher schools, yes, they have in a different manner, but majority of the mediocre schools also, they are not following this. Okay, so it is very important, like how we upgrade ourselves, being a principal, being a teacher, because many times when we go for a trainings, right, for teacher trainings, we come across like the most senior teacher telling us that oh, from 10 batches, n number of batches have gone from under me, so I know everything. No, you don't know, because the current, you need to know the pulse trend of the current generation. What they
Absolutely.
need, what they want, how they need, because they cannot listen to you just like that. Okay, do what I'm saying. No, it is not like that, right? They cannot take that. And when you say it very rigidly, they would just, as you said, they don't like certain teacher, they like certain teacher. Why? Because of this. because the teacher has to
Right.
change the mindset overall. Yeah, according to the generation is becoming more smarter than what we teachers were or are right now. So we have to go, at the level of what the children need. As I said, how, why, what, how to deliver. That is very, very important. If that is not given to them, wholeheartedly or upgrading yourself, then if you are not going anywhere, you are again just creating degrees with the children, and again children are not able to face the challenges of the school, and that cannot be futuristic school or a futuristic India.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with every point that you have mentioned over here. So, education is all about understanding the current trends, understanding your students, for the teachers and parents and teachers should collaborate, should understand each other, and also respect each other in order to create an effective learning environment for the students.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because until unless you respect each other, love each other, trust each other, bond each other, you will not be able to. Oh, I am paying fees. My child is going coming to you. You do your job. What you want? No, that is not how it is. Okay, it is how you build. Okay, my child, you and acceptance of your child's minus points. I, what my child is lacking. If the parent teacher is telling, okay, your child is not playing at home, he studies everything. How come he's not studying here? So you have a lot of different types of parents that we meet, but then parents should understand that yes, my child is not perfect. Even me as a principal, I'm not perfect. Even you as an individual is not perfect. Everybody
Absolutely.
has their own. So a parent should be readily accepting to see what is going wrong, why my child is not studying, rather than blaming the teacher. It is good, like, let me see what my child, and have a nice conversation with the teacher. Why my child is not performing? What I need to do to improve? Let us do together. Let us both together improve my child. My child is important to me and to you. So let us improve the child. So that is how the mindset should be with the parents and the teachers. So that's how we can build it up with the collaborative, pattern with each other.
Commitment and collaboration is the key, I can say, for
Yes,
creating an effective learning environment. So,
exactly. Yes.
with the last lines of Ela have mentioned there ought to be a constant communication between teachers and parents to understand their kids well. Very well said, Ela, as Dr. Aruna has also mentioned. So, there should be a constant communication. In order to understand your child, you have to build a relationship with the teacher
Yes,
to create
because
that
what
environment.
happens, yeah, as Ela said, constant communication, very well said, it is required. But what happens is nowadays both are working, mother, father, both are working, and they are hardly able to give time to the child. And even it is the I have experienced myself. Even as principals, we call the parents. Parents do not come. They do not reply to the messages. They do not come for the parent-teacher meeting. And then end of the year, they come. How come my child did not perform? Okay,
Right.
but as Hila mentioned, constantly have a tab on your child. Call the teacher, call the school, follow the protocol of the schools, how we can connect with when and what time, when is the date that we can come and meet. The parents should show that eagerness to connect instead of the school calling them and telling that, okay, please come check it, your child report. No, the parent also should know that they should connect constantly, have a talk with the teacher or the mentor who is in the school, or maybe coordinator, or maybe the academic, or anybody, but then get your results of your child in a proper manner, the growth of the progress of the child in a proper manner. Because the child, every step, beginning of the year might not show any growth, but then gradually it will show the growth, and then that is where you get to know, okay, my child was here and now it is here. It has grown, I mean, it is improved a lot. So constant communication also is a important factor.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's understand the points that Dr. Wadkar has mentioned over here. Communication, commitment to your child's future is very important, and that communication between you and the teacher, because both of you play a very important role in building that future for the child. So we would really like to thank Dr. Aruna for coming today for the talk show and enlightening us on the education system and what are the things that we need to consider as parents and for the teachers too. Thank you, Dr. Aruna, for coming to the show and inspiring us with your talk and, of course, your journey. We are grateful that you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's
Thank
my
you.
pleasure. Thank you, Akanksha. Thank you, viewers. It's my pleasure to be here on this platform. Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank you. So we'll take your leave for now, and next Saturday we'll be there again with another inspiring story. Aspire to inspire. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.